2025 Italian Grand Prix at Monza has always continued to be a spectacle in the sport. The race with the Tifosi painting the town red and cheering for the Italian pride is a sight that not many iconic races can match. The sight of a Ferrari driver winning and then being cheered to the heart's content is one of the more joyful sights we could ever ask for. Leclerc has been able to live that twice, and can he do it again? Let's take a look at some of the key storylines coming into this weekend. Starting off with the title battle, it's unfortunate what happened at Zandvoort with Norris, but the reality is that such a thing is part of the sport, and the British driver now has to make up 34 points on Oscar Piastri. It does change the dynamics, however, to a certain extent, as the Brit might become a tad more aggressive in his bid to close down Piastri's advantage in the championship. Lewis Hamilton ended the Dutch Grand Prix early and in the wall, and a season that promised so much and has delivered so little. He heads to Italy for the Italian Grand Prix. He's won here a lot of times, and he has been a dominant force when it comes to clinching some of the better results as well. But current form and expectations mean he'll be under a certain pressure in his first race here for Ferrari. And Antonelli as well is his home Grand Prix, and he's going into it with a dodgy run of form as well after that collision with Leclerc. So yeah, he'll be looking to bounce back from that. However, Isaac Hadjar will be coming into this one on cloud 9 after getting that maiden podium, and yeah, he's going to be much touched for a promotion to the senior team. But Lewis Hamilton though needs a strong result, and it doesn't help his 5-place grid penalty here. Driving for Ferrari is prestigious at Monza, but it also means a certain amount of pressure, and he'll need to deliver that. Antonelli as well is still young, but he's been tipped as a future star, and he really needs to start showing that, starting this weekend with one of his 2 home races. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one this weekend, and I just feel like Ferrari could have a really strong chance. The lower downforce setup could help them. You know, they always seem like they design a good car for the Italian Grand Prix, surprise, surprise. So yeah, I just feel like Ferrari could have a good weekend, although McLaren will certainly be hard to beat. And I think Williams as well have always been generally strong around here. So they'll be hoping for that. And I think Anthony at home, hopefully, he said it'll be better managed than it was when he was racing for Mercedes around him in the last month. So hopefully that's the case. And I feel for Red Bull, it's probably not a track that really suits them. So yeah, they'll be kind of dreading this weekend, I fear. Lewis Hamilton as well with his grid penalty, he'll need to overcome that this weekend. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Lots of different narratives and storylines playing into it, but it's Monza, it's always a fun weekend, and I can't wait to see what's going to come up this weekend really. In Friday practice at Monza, it was the McLaren and the Ferrari who particularly stood out, especially in FP1. It was Ferrari who looked good, with Lewis Hamilton topping the timesheets over Charles Leclerc, and then in the second practice session it was more McLaren. Lando Norris looking strong, but Ferrari still right up there. Carlos Sainz was strong all session as well, so I don't think we're going to see a complete McLaren domination this weekend. It looks like it could be a bit close this weekend, which I think is what we all want to see. And before we go, my predictions for this weekend, I'm going to say it will be Norris who gets the pole and the win. I think he'll come out fighting this weekend. I think, yeah, there's no doubt he's going to go for it. He's not just going to give up the title this easily. Piastri, though, I think due to the advantage of the McLaren, will come home in second, and I'm going to say it will be Leclerc in third. I think Ferrari will go round here. They always seem to in the past. So yeah, I'm going to say it will be Leclerc in third. They'll come out fighting in what's such a big weekend for them. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily F1 news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.